July 8, 2014. Inside Varna Airport in Bulgaria, security cameras recorded a young man walking through the terminal. His name was Lars Mittank. He was 28 years old, a German tourist who was supposed to return home after a holiday with friends. At first, nothing about the footage appeared unusual. Lars carried his belongings through the airport and entered the office of the airport doctor. But only a short time later something changed. He suddenly left the office, abandoned his luggage, ran through the terminal and escaped through the airport exit. The cameras continued recording as he crossed the airport grounds, climbed over a fence and disappeared toward an area of vegetation beyond the terminal. That was the last confirmed sighting of Lars Mittank. More than a decade later, nobody has been able to prove what happened to him. Lars had travelled to Bulgaria at the end of June 2014 with 5 friends. The group stayed at Golden Sands, a popular resort on the Black Sea coast near Varna. The beginning of the holiday appeared completely normal. They spent time on the beach, went swimming, watched football, and visited local bars and clubs. According to the people who knew him, Lars was normally calm and responsible. He worked at a power plant in Germany and maintained close contact with his family. There was no known reason to believe that he intended to disappear. Near the end of the holiday, however, the situation changed. On the evening of July 6th, Lars and his friends went out. According to widely reported accounts, a disagreement began with another group of German tourists over football. Lars supported Werder Bremen. The other men reportedly supported Bayern Munich. At some point during the night, Lars became separated from his friends. He did not return until the following morning. When he finally came back, he said that several men had attacked him. He had suffered injuries to his jaw and ear. A doctor later determined that his eardrum had been damaged. Because changes in air pressure could make the injury worse, Lars was advised not to fly immediately. He was also prescribed an antibiotic. His friends offered to remain in Bulgaria with him, but Lars insisted that they should continue with their original plans and return to Germany. On July 7th, they boarded their flight. Lars stayed behind alone. The plan seemed simple. Lars would spend one additional night in Varna, receive another medical examination and travel home when it was safe for him to fly. He checked into a hotel in the city, but during that night his behaviour reportedly became increasingly unusual. Lars called his mother, Sandra. He spoke quietly and appeared frightened. He told her that people were following him. He reportedly believed that someone wanted to rob him or cause him harm. He asked his mother to cancel his bank cards. Sandra later said that she could hear how frightened he was. Lars also expressed concern about the hotel and about the medication he had been prescribed. He asked questions about the drug and whether it could have dangerous effects. According to reports, hotel surveillance footage showed him walking through corridors, looking through windows and appearing to hide inside an elevator. At approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, Lars left the hotel. He returned around an hour later. Nobody has confirmed where he went or what happened during that missing hour. This part of the timeline remains unclear. There is no public evidence showing that anyone followed him. There is also no confirmed explanation for why he left the hotel during the night. By the following morning, Lars still wanted to return to Germany. He travelled to Varna Airport and informed his mother that he had arrived. Before boarding a flight, he visited the airport medical office. The purpose of the visit was to determine whether the condition of his ear allowed him to fly safely. The airport doctor later described Lars as nervous and unsettled. However, the doctor reportedly believed that his physical condition did not prevent him from travelling home. For a moment, it appeared that Lars would finally board a plane and return to his family. Then something happened inside the medical office. A construction worker entered the room. The airport was undergoing renovation at the time. According to later accounts, Lars became frightened when he saw the worker. He reportedly said that he did not want to die there and that he had to leave. Without collecting his belongings, Lars suddenly ran out of the office. His luggage remained behind. Inside were important personal items, including his passport, telephone and wallet. Leaving these objects behind made his actions even more difficult to explain. A person intentionally planning to begin a new life would normally need identification, money, and a way to communicate. Lars abandoned all three. Airport security cameras followed Lars as he ran through the terminal. He moved quickly toward the exit and left the airport building. Outside, he continued running away from the terminal. He crossed open ground, climbed over a fence, and moved toward an area of vegetation beyond the airport. Then he disappeared from the camera's view. There were no confirmed recordings showing him returning. There was no verified evidence that he entered a vehicle, and there has never been a confirmed sighting proving where he went next. The strange circumstances produced several theories.
The first theory is that Lars experienced an acute psychological crisis. His fear of being followed, his whispered calls to his mother, and his sudden escape from the airport could indicate paranoia or a temporary psychotic episode. According to his family, however, Lars had no known history of serious mental illness. That does not rule out a sudden crisis. It only means that investigators could not connect his behaviour to a previously diagnosed condition. Another theory concerns the injuries he received. Lars had reportedly suffered blows to his head and damage to his ear. Some people believe that a concussion or another undetected injury may have affected his judgment. A head injury can sometimes cause confusion, agitation, and unusual behaviour. But there is no publicly confirmed medical evidence proving that a brain injury caused his disappearance. It remains a possibility, not an established fact. The prescribed medication has also been discussed. Some online theories claim that the antibiotic may have caused a severe reaction. However, reports differ over whether Lars actually took the medication. Without reliable medical evidence confirming what he consumed, this theory cannot be proven. A third possibility is that Lars truly believed he was in danger because someone had threatened or followed him. He had told his mother that people wanted to harm him. His reaction to the construction worker may suggest that he mistook the man for someone connected to the earlier confrontation. However, no confirmed evidence has shown that anyone followed Lars into the airport. The publicly known surveillance footage has not revealed a clear pursuer. His fear may have been real to him, but investigators have never established whether the danger itself was real.
There is also the possibility that Lars suffered an accident after leaving the airport. He ran into unfamiliar terrain while apparently distressed. He may have become injured, disoriented, or unable to seek help. Searchers did not produce a confirmed trace of him. No verified remains, personal objects, or physical evidence have publicly established what happened after he left the camera's view. Over the years, people in several countries have claimed to see men who resembled Lars. Photographs and possible sightings were shared online. One widely discussed case involved a man found in Brazil. At first, some people believed he might be Lars. He was later identified as another missing person. Other reported sightings also failed to provide a confirmed answer. Lars's family continued searching. His mother remained convinced that he might still be alive, possibly suffering from memory loss. Private investigators checked hospitals and other records, but no conclusive evidence was found. The case gained enormous attention because the final moments were captured on video. Millions of people watched Lars enter the airport. They watched him run from the terminal. They watched him climb the fence and disappear beyond the camera's range. But the footage ends before it reveals the answer. That is what makes the case so disturbing. There is no clear ending. Only a young man running as though he believed his life was in danger. Was Lars experiencing a medical emergency? Was he escaping from a threat that nobody else noticed? Did he suffer an accident after reaching the area beyond the airport? Or did something happen after the cameras lost sight of him? After more than a decade, every major explanation still contains unanswered questions. Lars Mittank arrived in Bulgaria expecting to spend a short holiday with friends. Instead, his final recorded movements became one of the most watched and debated disappearances of the modern era. Somewhere beyond that airport fence, the trail ended, and until new evidence is discovered, nobody can say with certainty why Lars ran, or where he went. This remains one of Europe's most mysterious unsolved disappearances.